Dr. Shum with G-Ster Gaming again. Sorry for the long wait on this video. The server went down temporarily, but is back up. And back up to speed for the most part. As you can see behind me, a new fort's been constructed. And this is going to be a mega patch video covering all 3 missed patches in one go as they came out. This fort took a good 20 hours to make. Anyway, we'll start off with update patch 114, the blacksmith patch. I can always get a new one of these later. Sorry, PETA. In hindsight, I probably should have just told it to stay, but oh well. I don't control time. This is the blacksmith station. And as you can tell from that clanging noise that is making my eardrums hurt, it's got bugs. Not many, mind you. It still functions. The only real glitches that are on this thing are the what would it be? Visual glitches, that's what it was. Before we go over those, I'll tell you about the features. It has a working forge. I have to turn on this thing for you to actually see that, but yeah, it's got a forge that you can use. Other than that, the only other thing you can do is buy shit from this guy. Currently, he only sells iron bars for $1 each. So if you need refined iron, this glorious bastard can give you all the iron you'll ever need. Now for the bugs. I've looked around this thing, and the only bugs that I can find are this guy's sparking anvil, and the fact that the sounds don't line up with the action of him hitting that steel rod in his hand. It's just... God. Depending on where you are near this thing, 2 or 3 sound sources will play. The most sound sources I've been able to make this thing play are 4 at once, but I'm not going to demonstrate that at the moment because my ears have already been tortured enough. Aside from this being added in with 1.1.4, there are various other things I'll go over. Various shops and buildings have been updated with foliage and lighting stuff. Gotta keep it crisp and lovely and all that. There are new furniture bits like stools, chairs, and other stuff available in the Well, the wood crafting benches, where you craft furniture and shit. One of the glitches I forgot to go over with the blacksmith is, in 1.1.4, he was killable. It has since been updated, and he has plot armor. Demonstrated like that. There's still collision on the bastard, as seen by the little reticule or whatever the fuck it's called. But yeah, he's unkillable now. Collision has been fixed on the grinder, so there won't be any more falling into that. Bunch of crafting recipes were fixed. Many other bugs were fixed, including getting stuck inside stuff. At least from the patch notes anyway. I'm still finding ways to get stuck inside shits. I'll go over that in glitch videos in the future. But, ugh, I digress. Other than the getting stuck inside of stuff crap, there's been new code introduced with vendors. A bunch of various loading bugs for fences have been fixed, and radial menus have been added to livestock in this update, which has since changed. In this update, the animals' breeding was stemmed back some. Horny little bastards. Every time a server would restart, the animals would be doubled, apparently. Which I didn't get to witness, sadly. Because having a field full of cows from initiating the restart over and over and blowing them up with TNT, that sounds like a fun time. I'm sad that I missed that. Probably wouldn't be the best for any townspeople though, stepping in all that manure and meat paste all over the place. Ugh. In the patch notes after that are nothing but them talking about smaller bugs. If you want to see the patch notes for yourself, go look it up. I'm only going over notable highlights in the patches on this video. That pretty much wraps up 1.4. Now I'll move on to 1.1.5, the stable updates. This bastard here was added in to sell you horses. Various colors of horses. And saddles and shits, apparently. You can also get donkeys. All the other shit that you can craft is purchasable from this brick. And apparently he's unkillable, so it looks like the devs didn't make the mistake they did with the blacksmith. Which is excellent. Not really sure how they could miss that with the blacksmith, though. As you can see from looking around it, it looks pretty nice. One thing to take note of when actually placing this thing, though, it's stone foundation thing for if you place it like off the side of a hill like I have it. The stone may droop down enough to cover most of it, but there is still this little graphical glitch with what I presume is just like weeds and shits. That's the only thing I've been able to find. Other than that, the only thing you need to keep in mind is that the stone only goes down so far, and you're not going to be able to hang this thing off a mountain without it glitching out. The lighting is actually pretty good in here too. And my horse has disappeared. Oh no, there it is. Stay there, horse. I'm not really sure what point the stable serves other than buying shit from, as you can't store your horses in these things they've got set up with hay and all that. But it is a nice touch. Other things to take note of with the stable. Not much. I think I went over everything. With 1.1.5, some stuff was changed with the blacksmith as well. Apparently there was a duping bug with the prick, where you could duplicate shit. Probably in the furnace. It's pretty good that they patched that. Like I said before, he was given plot armor, and this was the patch in which they gave him that plot armor. There was also another problem with him randomly disappearing. I forgot to talk about that, but yeah, he's not going anywhere. Some say he was off in the fields, fondling the deputies from the sheriff's office. But those reports have not been confirmed. Regardless, his feet have been superglued to the ground, so the bastard isn't going anywhere. Moving the bank has been fixed, so there's more collision with it. I think there was something about it clipping inside of cliffs and stuff. Something big that I wish I could have tested out, and I probably will look into, is the next thing they added with this patch of, well, morality now affects damage outputs in 1.1.5. I don't have the exact stats. Someone in the Steam discussions may have it currently. I'll make a video on it in the future. Probably when someone else is on for me to whack with a scythe a billion times to get my morality down to whatever the max is. As for getting it up all the way, I don't know how I'm going to achieve that other than just hunting Skull Gang members. So what I'll probably do is get my morality all the way up, kill myself, and then put it all the way down by slicing 2 or 3 other players. Not just hunting them and being a dick, just George and Billy probably. Maybe even my brother, if he decides to get his little ass on. One thing that was nerfed in this update would be the stairways to heaven. Apparently you can't build more than 5 pieces of steps going up. Like, let's see if I even have the materials to do this. Horse, stay there. Ooh. Don't know why it lags so much now when you're going to place stairs. It didn't do that before. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, and after that it is impossible. You need supports. Technically it might still be possible to do the stairway to heaven, but using this to break into forts, or whatever you might use this for, like building a sky base up in the damn clouds, that is now impossible. I have God mode on right now, so I'm not really concerned with fall damage. There were building proximity checks added in and whatnots in the actual patch notes, suggesting that they've changed the way that you could build up into... That is going to get annoying. Sorry, horse. Yeah, I don't want that thing leveling up a billion times when I'm talking. I already hate that sound enough when I die and my horse is elsewhere. But yeah, they're building proximity checks in place now to disable people building over other bases. Which is probably for the better. We don't want the Rust-esque raids of yesteryear to haunt us in this game. There are already enough raids in the PvP servers through normal means. Another sort of stairway to heaven-esque glitch that people discovered was the ability to stand on the top of one of those chimney bits and constantly make it grow, which probably could have been used for raiding, to just get on top of someone's base. But that has since been fixed in 1.1.5. It's now impossible to do this if a player is standing on top of the chimney. Horse fall damage has been tweaked. The triangle ceilings now need supports after 2 are built outward, just like normal platforms. There was a horse bug with saddles in 1.1.5 that apparently has been fixed. Apparently brick stuff can only be destroyed with explosives now. At least that's... I think that's what it says in the patch notes. I'll probably go over that in some kind of durability test video when I make some prefab buildings, or at least what I'm going to call them. And I'm going to blow them to bits with the various explosives. Video for another day. Apparently there was a problem with the OOR servers, but they fixed that little bug, so the griefability of those is down. And again in the patch notes, players getting clipped and stuck into things. It says it's fixed, but I've still found ways to clip into things and get stuck in them. When it happens again, I'll probably do a clip of it. One other new thing that they've added, and this is the last thing that was notable, is all of these little upside down triangle things for whatever you might want to build. I guess just to be supports for those overhangs that people will have on the mountaintop bases, or well, for my kinds of bases being the ones that are on those stones. And that was all that came of note with 1.1.5. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments. Finally, on to the last thing. The gun store updates. I threw the gun store over here for now. I don't know if it's going to stay there. But for 1.1.6, we've got the gun store updates. It's got this nice little gun store. This guy who has really thick eyebrows on the upper and lower parts of his eyelids. I'm not sure if that's a thing in real life or whatnot, because I've never seen that here, them being that thick, but it's probably really fucking painful. This guy also has plot armor, thank God. And you can buy various different weapons from him. And ammo types. Along with varied versions of various other versions of guns. Like you can buy a gold peacekeeper thing, a 6-shooter I think it was. You can buy dark finish shits. Pretty much every gun that's available can be bought from here. Usually at a very, very steep price, though. You'll be hunting a lot of skull bandits to get these. Nice little American flag in the background there. Everything else is pretty much spot on, except for the explosives available here. And what I can only assume are exploding cannonballs. Maybe a hint at something to be added, actual cannons being mounted on shits. Who's to say? All I know is I'd really like this gun. And I'd like to know the story behind this piece of wood that it is resting against, and why it's resting on that side instead of the other side, and how it could actually hold up a gun like that, because it doesn't make sense to me. Really like the snake statue. In the back, it says there's a practice range, but this door itself doesn't open. Maybe they'll change that in the future. It does lead out back. So, yeah, maybe they'll add functionality to that later. There's this cannon up here, just for show. Oh, is it? Wait a minute. Is this the shooting range up here? I didn't even see this before. Hold on a sec. I need a gun. Because I need to test this out. Don't mind me. I'm just looking for the gun codes. Underscore Winchester 1866. Fuck it. I don't like doing this, but I'm just gonna copy and paste it because my head hurts too much to remember that. Okay, so they don't react to the bullets. So the shooting range is just completely cosmetic. A nice touch, but it would be nice if it had some sort of functionality, like the barrel. I mean, not the barrels, the fucking bottles. Well, there is a barrel up here. Ugh. If the bottles exploded when you shot them with bullets, that would be nice. For now, they're just sort of sitting there. Why make the shooting range up here, though? That's what I want to know. As far as bugs go, there aren't really any bugs with this building that I've been able to find. If I find any, I'll make a follow-up video to this with that glitch, or I'll include it in some other patch video to come. I started this video with the sun up. I really wish the day and night cycle was a bit longer. Maybe I can edit it in the server files. Other than the gun shop and whatnot, 2 other buildings were added that don't yet have functionality. The saloon and general store. Let me just go and actually get the saloon because I don't have one placed yet. Saloon, there it is. I guess we'll do the saloon first. Finicky little saloon. Oof. Maybe the saloon does actually have functionality. Oh! Well, that's actually a really nice touch, to be honest. I was wondering when they would add something like this. Little floppy doors. Like in all those Western films. It doesn't have the same visual glitch as the hotel, where you could see through into space as the other place. I mean, wait, what? Ugh. My brain's acting stupid. It's nice that they've got collision up here, but another little glitch, I guess, from the hotel is up on top of it. The collision will not trigger the sounds that you're landing on something. Let's see if the other half of that glitch is on. Okay, at least jumping off of it still lets the sound go off. Let's check out the inside. Lamps, tables. Wow, and you can sit in the chairs. Nice. That looks depressing. Okay. So yeah, like I said, he doesn't have any functionality yet. But it's probably subject to change. What the fuck? Well, there's still one window with the glitch, I guess. Though I'm pretty sure that's not a window. It looks more like a collection case. Love that handlebar mustache. Empty glass bottles. Would be nice if they added some color to make it look like there's actually shit in the bottles. Also, apparently this section of the saloon, I don't know whether it's just because the area that this is placed, but as you can see, there's grass clipping into this, so I guess they haven't done all the collision stuff for this building yet. This building wasn't really the center of the 1.1.6 patch. It was just a nice little addition. I'm sure they'll give it functionality in the next patch. Now on to the general store, wherever the hell I placed that. Just like the other place, it doesn't have much functionality. And you have to look at this guy's crotch to even interact with him. It's kinda creepy, to be honest. I mean... ugh. Just no. He's only got a gold vendor menu. And it doesn't function. Odds are you'll be able to sell shit to this prick. Probably not for a whole bunch of gold, but it's better than nothing. And it does make a nice little piece for now. There aren't any visual glitches that I've found yet with this, but I'll keep looking. A thing that I don't like about this so far is that you cannot exit out this way without getting stuck on these bags. It was a nice touch, but it defeats the purpose of even adding stairs here because you will get stuck in it. Fortunately, it's one of those things that you can get out of without teleporting or death. So that's nice. Aside from the gun store and the other buildings, a couple other bugs have been fixed in 1.1.6. The hotel now actually takes your money. They kicked out the inbred stupid son of a bitch that was running it before and replaced it with his more competent... they replaced him with his more competent twin. This guy actually will take your shekels, because in updates before this where the hotel was added, you could just get one for free and he wouldn't take your shekels. Other than that, I still have this stairway to nowhere that bothers the shit out of me. And like I mentioned before, you can clearly see that you can see right up at the top of this thing. Also, you can sort of see right through here, and you can just see the inside of what's behind the textures through this window. I don't like it. My hotel is still better. The new one I built, it's not as big, mind you, but it still looks better than this place and has less bugs. It just has functionality. It's the only thing that this has that my hotel doesn't, and that's because beds aren't installed. I mean, look at this place. Look at it. 8 small homes, windows. I've got it tied in with the fort so fucking close that it's almost connected. And it's just... It's perfect, and I'm whining like a little bastard. Ugh. A bunch of other little bugs have been squashed. Thank Christ. In the patch notes, it states that livestock will now search for food and water if left in their animal houses. So they finally gave the animals the munchies that stoners have when they smoke a little too much of the giggle grass. Which is good, because at least now they'll search out for food and water instead of just dying and disappearing with that delicious beef. Apparently a bug was fixed, allowing players to build anything on water. Now, keep in mind you can still build shit on water. You just need to sink a foundation down into the water, like I've done with this. And you can still build over the water. Granted, it'll probably be really hard to do with lakes and shit, because you need something down there to stick up for you to stand on. It's still technically possible. So it's semi-correct to say that players can't build anything on water anymore. Another thing included in the patch notes of notability is that the chickens traveling between coops in the world, they won't do that anymore. No more roaming cocks. The crafting stations have been nerfed. They no longer have refrigerators in them. They might never have had it, but food didn't spoil in them. So that exploit is just gone. Ice now melts faster. The train engines have a radial thing now to delete them that actually works, supposedly. And it works if the train station was already killed off. Another thing in the patch notes states that the blacksmith forge was disconnected from the building, but they've since fixed it apparently. You know, where it just wasn't placing right, I guess. Other shit that was fixed was a bunch of horse collision bugs, like 3 or 4. They added hanging signs, crafted in the carpentry bench. And this last thing I'm gonna have to show you. Hell, there's 2 things I'll probably have to show you from this, but I'm not going out bandit hunting right now. They spawn occasionally outside the forts, and very, very rarely they spawn inside this massive fort, just because of how big it is. Fuck caps lock. You can now sell silver at the gold exchange, so all those useless silver bars that you've been hoarding can now actually serve a purpose and get you more shekels. Granted that there's more silver in the damn mines than anything else, at least that's my experience, because I wasn't able to find anything else in those damn mines other than angry miners and the BDSM bandits that ran around whipping me with a damn axe. Silver might not be worth it. Or wait. Is silver worth more than gold? No, wait. A full stack of gold will give you 1,000. So this is worth about a quarter as much. Granted, you'll be pulling up a lot more silver. It's reasonable. The only other thing really of worth to talk about is that bandits will now drop weathered versions of their weapons, where like half the durability will be left, or a quarter, and well, that is more realistic. Finding a pristine weapon on a bandit wasn't very really immersive or anything. It just left me asking why. It does sort of make it more immersive. Yuck. That's all I really have to talk about with 1.1.6. And to finish the video up, I'll showcase something that I only recently realized that I still need to test with the others. Apparently you can be a prick to someone who's in your town with a silenced weapon glitch. Like I said, I'm not sure if this works or not, but if you look at a building and you go and hit the activate button and look away really fast and shoots, it'll fire off the bullet without making the sound. Now, I'm not sure if the other player will still hear the sound, as I've not tested it with George and them, but it will be fun to mess around with. That'll be very fun to mess around with. Closing statements. I guess I really just want to know what the hell this is for. It serves no purpose at the moment. I mean, is it some sort of windmill? Where's the windmill part? I don't get it. Just why? And with that, we've reached the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you later. This has been Dr. Shome with G-Ster Gaming.